get a little recap of the opening day of competition on the desk with Ronnie Blakey and Ross Williams.
Thank you, Joe. G'day, Potts. Here with Ross Williams. Ross, obviously an exciting stop this one, but tricky conditions for those competitors in the first couple of heats, and some pretty low heat score totals for some of the favourites in this contest.
Yeah, it's something surfers like to coin morning sickness. A lot of that has to do with wrinkles and bumps and lumps, so the surfers have to kind of find their way through all those lumps. You get the morning sun in their eyes, so the first couple of heats is always pretty tricky at Cloudbreak, and that was the case for John. A little bit of a grindy heat, just winning with a little over a 10-point total. That being said, Ron, a win is a win, and that's what we talked about during that heat. Hey, he gets to avoid that really sketchy round too. Coming
off the back of a victory over there in Brazil, a smart heat from John, and he will enjoy skipping that second round. Alejo Munez, he started to find his form throughout this heat, but really just struggled to find extended walls that offered more scoring opportunity as he progressed down the line, and as a result, he's relegated to that second round.
Yeah, it feels like there's a kind of a theme throughout this morning so far, and the judges are really hanging their hat on a certain brand of surfing, and they're sticking to it. You know, Alejo in that last heat had probably the strongest snaps, but they didn't link together. The exact opposite here, Ron. You talk about linkage. Felipe, he connected all his maneuvers seamlessly, and we were talking about it during the heat. How fast was this kid surfing?
Amazing, good combinations, and the heat score totals started to increase as we moved through those first few heats of the day. So I think the performance levels got a little bit better as the conditions ironed themselves out, but it seems like the judges still paying a lot of attention to those slightly bigger set waves. They put a lot of emphasis on picking the best waves in the lineup, which sometimes for me, I don't really like it.
I'm with you, and I think we touched on it a little bit on cue right here. Ryan Callahan, he probably had a maneuver or two that were throwing caution into the wind. Very critical right in the heaviest part of the wave, and just getting slided a little bit in terms of numbers. So, connection and flow is a big deal for the judges this morning.
Jadson Andre, he found some solid barrel rods out there this morning. This is when conditions really started to clean up. And as we mentioned, the heat score totals went a little higher, 14.6 for Jadson, and he gets a rare first round win. It's been a tough year for him so far.
I had a sneaky feeling about Jadson. He's such a scrapper. Amazing connection with the best waves in this heat. You can't deny a really good barrel, especially as the conditions slowly but surely get better. If someone gets really pitted, they're going to get heavily rewarded. And that's exactly what happened in this heat, as we see Stewie, and that's the cool thing about having regular footers up against goofy footers. There's a great contrast there, and Stewie was really rewarded for that backhand vertical whip.
Jadson Andre definitely, that's a big story, getting a rare round one win, but perhaps the biggest story is just how much Gabriel struggled in the first round heat to really make any impact. He finished in third position. He's the man that everyone's got pegged as a favourite in this contest, but he just didn't look like an event winner in this one.
Well, I think Potts had the perfect tone in this heat, and I totally agree with him. I thought this heat was a lot closer on paper. Sure, Jadson, I think he won the heat. He had those great barrels combined with maneuvers, but Gabriel was throwing a lot of commitment into those turns, sliding the tail, turning so strong that he was sliding out of it, and just getting a couple of sixes. I thought he was barely just underneath Jaddy on that heat.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes a maneuver that's not as controlled, that is completed and executed, is rewarded very well, and then when someone's in complete control of their equipment and does a beautiful maneuver, it doesn't rate quite as high. So the judges really kind of like to see you surfing on edge, pushing your board to the point of release. Gabriel did that, but just didn't come up trumps.
Normally they like it, not today.
Not so much this morning.
Maybe they'll switch it up as the day materializes. We'll see.